Are we?
Play the intro song. What the fuck is going on?
All right. Well, welcome to Fourth and Wrong.
All right.
I think it's another. We're back. It's another week. Mentally, I wouldn't say we're back, the both of us, but you let me know as we were going live that you're not going to be paying attention for the first part of this podcast.
That is not what I said. I said I have to be. I'll be looking up notes as they're coming in hot off the presses of the SEC availability report. Dick.
It's a big week in the SEC, as it is every week.
What do y'all... That's sarcasm? You want to get into this?
No.
Hey, we're gonna give everybody a chance to hear the great music because I think something messed up. So
people hear
stand
it.
By.
Cold open. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fourth and Wrong. We did not just go live before that. You guys were dreaming it was fake, but now we're here. It's reality. It's time to face reality. It's time to face reality for you and I. It's time to face reality for guys like James Franklin and Billy Napier, potentially Mike Norvell. A lot of stuff going on in college football right now. What's going on, dude?
Let's start here for a second. I think Billy Napier not Billy Napier. James Franklin to Florida State is a perfect fit. I feel like that's you think that's stupid?
I think everything's stupid.
Yeah, you're in like negative town again.
Yeah. What if you were me? Where would your head be at?
Oh, I would have fucking been doing backflips. I would have been doing backflips off the ceiling. I mean, like this is kind of I don't know. I handled week one a little bit better. But to your credit and your point, I'm handling the same thing differently. I'm just doing 2023 mode all over again, which is Bama has no chance in this game. Here's why. They're not good enough to beat them. And like I'm just emotionally hedging the rest of the year. And that I don't like being there. That sucks.
Yeah, look, I mean, they're clearly better than they were last year, but they don't. The whole thing is they just don't have talent that's good enough to produce every single week. And it's very clear the further we get out from that first game that they just caught Bama by surprise. They had nothing on tape. They shut down the media before, in the spring and summer and fall camp for the first time ever. So they didn't want anyone to know what was going on because they knew they didn't have enough talent. Caught Bama by surprise. It was on the road. They didn't react well enough. And it went how it went. Bama clearly is a better team than Florida State. Florida State just caught them that day.
Yeah.
I also don't think that they're as bad enough. I still don't think they're a bad enough team to lose to Virginia and Pitt. But here we are.
Did you lost to Pitt with a freshman quarterback? But here's the other thing too. I noticed, Tyler, in the very limited action that I watched of that game, you're in the stage of this fucking misery now with Florida State where you've hit the part where like nothing can go right and it's going so wrong that a true freshman like on the road
who just that first ever road start
and puts up 323 yards, but he's doing stuff rolling out across to his left, across his body, dodging people, and then dunking one like somehow somebody like is back in the back of the end zone. It's tough, dude. It's tough. I don't love it.
Horrible. Boozer says I'm having mic issues.
Yeah.
I can see that. So let me see.
How are we doing now?
That's better. And you look great. You look great.
Thank you. So we were using my computer mic.
Yeah. Do I look good? I went to the gym today.
You look what did Feinbaum say that one time? Svelte. Yeah.
I didn't work out. I just signed up and then I left immediately after. So
oh, okay. So you went to the gym, but you didn't work out. You just went there.
Yeah. I mean, we joined the YMCA. Like what kind of expectations of getting in shape should I even fucking have at this point?
That's true. Yeah. I think once you hit a certain age, it's like, fuck it.
That's where I'm at. Allie just made a dinner that was, I believe it was, I'm trying to pronounce this right, just sodium. It was just a bunch of fucking sodium, and it was delicious. In case she's watching, but it was, I feel like I'm gonna float away.
What if she wasn't watching? What would you say?
Fucking, it was salty, dog. Salty. Call that the T-Huck T-bone because it was salty, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but like I said, here's one child. Hold on. Go ahead and talk.
Oh, us? Anyway, so you want me or the kid? Good radio. Here's the deal. We got a couple comments in here. Guys, make sure you're dropping some comments. Make sure you're calling the what's up, dude? Great with kids. Uncle Chris is great with kids.
Well, he can't hear you, so
Good move.
There says hello.
All right, so here's the news that's coming this week. It came out today. We'll get into this part, I guess, first, which is James Franklin, obviously out at Penn State, kind of surprised me. Other people said that it was not a surprise. The other thing is that there's rumors that we're saying, or they're going on for a while now, where Billy Napier might be out this weekend no matter what. Like if they win or lose, he's gone no matter what. If that's the case, like I objectively believe that that's happening. I've heard that for a while, that they were going to do it before the Georgia game. I objectively believe that's happening. Admittedly, I don't want to believe it because the people I see reporting it are Matt Hayes, who's a huge D-bag, and then other people that I don't respect in the media that are like it's just like people like, yeah, he might be potentially like maybe on the hot seat. And it's like, are we going to report on that? Like, how real is that going to be? So I don't know.
It's kind of weird. I mean, I guess college football is so funny because the people that are making these decisions, these big money boosters, they just can't keep their mouth shut.
No.
So like shit always leaks. But it's just so funny. Like if you're Napier, this clearly has probably come across your desk at this point that it's public that no matter what happens this weekend, you're getting fired.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think his mindset's like right now?
Dude, on Monday, one of the media members asked him flat out what he thinks about James Franklin getting fired. And it's like, I didn't even watch the answer, but it's like, and like how much more thinly veiled can you get?
Yeah.
Than
it's
that.
almost like a slap in the face. It's like, yeah, I get you, buddy. Yeah, I saw it.
So I don't know, man. I think I still believe that James Franklin is a perfect fit there.
At Florida State or Florida?
At both. I think he's a better fit at Florida State. Like Florida fans kind of like looking down their nose at that like potential thing. Dude, I wrote just like an afterthought of an article like on Monday about it. And I was like, this is why he's a perfect fit. This is where he should go. Like that's get ahead of the curve. There's people getting fired. I'm sure he has to pretend to at least like want to look for a job. Like it's a good spot at a good university. Like he'll be able to recruit, all that kind of stuff. The amount of Florida fans that have been in the comments like he can't even win at Florida at Penn State. And you're like, he had 6 10+ win seasons in the last 9 years. He was just in the college football playoff semis. Like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with your actual program, but you're not doing that. So like why are you like Florida's not in a position where they can really look down on who the hire would be. And I'm not saying this to be a dick, but like they also need to hear it. Like, look at your track record for hires. Why do you like Strickland needs to go more than anybody, but like why do you all of a sudden think that you're above getting James Franklin?
Strickland, I believe, didn't he recently get an extension? Something happened because the Florida basketball won the championship. So now he's like, at least for some people, he's in the good graces. I know a lot of people hate him too. But Florida State's in the same boat with their AD. People are wondering, if we do have to can Norvell, do you let the AD, who has us in a just complete death spiral of debt at this point? I texted you on Saturday, like, yeah, it's all great if you want to pay a $60 million buyout to buy out Norvell, but you also have hundreds of millions of dollars tied up of trying to get out of the ACC. And then when that's just for the litigation. And then when you actually do it, you're gonna have to pay another probably 50 to 60 million.
And stay in it.
They just completely did a whole new football facility that was supposed to open up before the year. It got fucked up, so now it hasn't even opened yet. It's gonna open up. Shit, Norvell might be fired by the time it's opened later this season. They just completely redid the inside of Doak, which looks great, but they're spending a lot of money and they're not getting a lot of return. And it's a little terrifying to think about, like, okay, so if you're Florida State, like Florida too, though, you pay this big buyout, like you better be bringing somebody in that's going to be guaranteed to be good.
Right. And the idea that that's why I keep saying the thing with Franklin is like, at the very least,
Right.
he is a
There's a
proven
floor
commodity and he's a proven coach at this level where he is like experienced. You cannot go get a first timer. This cannot be McElwain. Can't be Muschamp. Can't be a situation where it's like, we're going to go get Dan Mullen from a smaller school, come to a bigger school, and then we're not happy because everyone else around us is doing better than us, even though we're doing the best our program's done since Urban Meyer. Like, that's the thing. I think part of me admittedly looks at Florida and it's like, you deserve this because the amount of bitching they did about Mullen, and that's the best they've had it since like the Meyer and Tebow era has been over. And all they did was complain, like, well, he can't recruit. And it's like, but he can sure go out there and win you games. Like he's winning you games. And you can get mad all you want about how, well, if we had a defensive coordinator in 2020, we would have been in the playoff. You wouldn't have won it. So why were you trying to shove him out? And then you bring in a G5 guy. You can't bring in a G5 guy. You can't bring in a first timer. You have got to go make a very good hire if you're going to turn this around. Because here's the thing about Florida that they have fucked themselves on more than anything. When they started comparing themselves to other programs that they wanted to be, that they were mad about Georgia turning the corner with Kirby Smart and said, well, we need to be competing with that, or like the Alabamas or whoever else, right? You were at your best in the 2010s going to Atlanta when those teams like Georgia and Tennessee were at like historical lows. Like the amount of turnover that they had for the coaching staff at Tennessee, and then a couple years under Georgia before Kirby Smart came in, like that was your time to like strike while the iron's hot, and you didn't do anything with it. And so then you fire the guy that's actually good, and now you're sitting here and it's like, well, whoever you hire next, just know now Georgia and Tennessee are at historic highs, and you brought in Texas and OU, and it's like this sucks.
Yeah. For Florida, you got to nail the hire. My guess is they're going to try to go hard after Kiffin. I mean, that's what it seems like has been the inevitable for 2 or 3 years since Napier's been on the hot seat. Starting 2 years ago. But we'll see. I don't know if you want that pressure cooker if you're laying Kiffin. I mean, I think you got it pretty sweet at Ole Miss. They're like, nobody's going to kill you if you don't, go to the playoff one year. We're at Florida, disaster.
What do you think? Right. And like, imagine having to hear that from Florida fans. Like, imagine having to go into a pressure cooker and get to 9 wins every year for Florida fans, and then have to hear them be ungrateful about it. And I've already heard this whole thing about like Florida fans saying like, back channels are saying we're talking to Lane and we're talking to Marcus Freeman. If you fucking think Marcus Freeman is leaving, if you think Marcus Freeman is leaving Notre Dame to go to Florida, no.
I just received a request to wipe a butt, a human butt.
Ooh.
So
okay, I can carry it.
Carry it for a little bit, and I will be back.
Eddie, you want to come in? This is where we need the cameo. This is where we need the cameo of that guy. Make me full screen, idiot. Okay, Eddie's here. Good. All right, so just real quick, just kind of wrapping up the whole Napier thing. Eddie brings up a good point. Napier's response to something in the press conference Monday was, we need to perform, we need to know it, we need to compete, we know what we signed up for kind of deal. Like that's very much coach speak. It like the writing might be on the wall at this point. Here's the other part too. This coaching cycle is going to be insane. You think about all the different coaching staffs that are getting laid off. Penn State, Oklahoma State, Arkansas is going to be looking for one. Arkansas is going to be looking to try and nail that hire as well, because what's his name's on his last legs. And here's the thing about Arkansas. You've got 2 very good hires. You've got your baseball coach. I can't think of his name right now. Dave Horn, I think he's been there forever, like knocking on the cusp of a national championship constantly. Then you have Calipari for basketball. I think that's a great hire. Now you just got to figure out who your head coach for football is going to be. And so they're going to be trying to like nail that hire, which means they're going to put out a lot of money, all those things. I think it's a huge like thing to watch, I think, with Florida, not about the coaching staff, but if they let Scott Strickland make the hire, I'd be shocked. I think Scott Strickland's going to be gone. Like, just because his basketball coach won a national title, that should not overshadow and outweigh all of the bad they've had there with, like, if you look at the numbers, and Eddie, maybe you can find them, like the numbers on like every other hire he's had, not just bad, but like horrifically bad. So while Eddie does that, what should we talk about? I think last week's games, we kind of get a quick recap. The Georgia-Auburn fiasco, I know. Oh, Tyler's already back. Georgia-Auburn fiasco, we can kind of start there. I know that Georgia fans were very upset about getting a favorable call, which was weird. I'm not going to sit here and try to do the whole fucking Zapruder film thing and zoom in to figure out in some grainy-ass footage if it was across the goal line or not. I do know that Auburn held Georgia to 20 total yards of offense for the first 28 minutes. And I was sitting there watching that game, Tyler. I'm in Tiger Stadium, and there's like 9 minutes to go in the LSU South Carolina game, and there's like 2 minutes to go in the Auburn Georgia game. And I see there's like a play under review. Keep watching the game, get up to go pee, come back, get a hot dog, come back, get another hot dog, come back. And I look down, there's like a minute 30 left in the Georgia-Auburn game. 36 real-time minutes on these reviews. Insane. And here's my only issue. I'm not going to fucking get into the whole argument between those two fan bases because I don't care. And if I'm just giving you the tough love thing for Georgia, the fact that you are held to 20 yards against that defense is pathetic. Okay? Congrats, you went and beat a bad Auburn team on the road. I don't want to hear about Jordan here at night. 20 yards is pathetic. Auburn, hey man, I don't know if anyone's ever told you this about life before, Hugh Freeze, but it's pretty tough. It can be pretty tough. The moment you face adversity is not when you fold emotionally. I've done it a bunch, but I'm not the one who's in charge of fucking coaching Auburn football. He said something on the coach's teleconference today, Tyler. He goes, you know, I went and talked to my coach friends, and we went and talked to Butch Thompson, the baseball coach, and talked to a couple of other football coaches. And I asked him, I was like, you know, I just, you know, I look at this and like, I've never seen anything like it. I've never experienced anything like it. I asked them, have y'all ever experienced anything like this? And they all said no. And here's the thing. It's frustrating because it's like you're going out there, quote, and you're calling the same exact plays against the same exact defense in the second half, and we're just not executing. And it's like, no, dumbass. They're making adjustments. You're the only one that's not doing that. So I say all of that to say my biggest issue had nothing else to do. It had nothing to do with those teams. It has to do with the fact that if you're the refs and you call a fumble and it's Georgia ball, then it has to be a touchdown because they return it for a touchdown. If you're not going to call Kirby for the timeout when he's doing this, and I don't give a shit if he was trying to communicate something because the safety was doing this or whatever else, or like, if you make that call, something else has to happen. You have to charge him with a timeout. There has to be a penalty, delay a game, something. None of those things happened. And again, Georgia fans can get, if we want to sit here and fucking read lips and Kirby Smart was just being as honest as can be in a rivalry game that was either tied or a 3-point game at the time, sure. I want my coach doing that, to be clear. But, like, let's not sit here and gaslight everyone else and ourselves and think, like, no, Kirby was just trying to keep up the integrity of the game. He wasn't doing anything bad. Like, that's insane.
Gee Willikers, guys.
Golly, man.
Yeah, interesting weekend. Of course, Vegas always knows. Texas, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, Napier plays, no shot. 6 points. Sorry. Thanks for playing. What else was big this weekend? I mean, Indiana obviously is the big story.
Dude, they're good.
On the road in Eugene. It is crazy to me that Siggs is in his 60s. He was on Bama's staff. And then he's like, I'm gonna go out on my own. He coached D2 and then went to James Madison. And now he's here. And like most of the players that he's winning with at Indiana the last 2 years are James Madison transfers.
Yeah.
And he's going out on the road to Eugene at Oregon, who many believed was the top team in the country, and took him down.
So here's the thing that I thought was funny about that. And I want to first, I know that we don't have any fucking Indiana listeners. Actually, I think we have one.
We do. I know him. He
Did
listens
he listen, or did I fucking drive him away?
You might have driven him away. He actually has his own now.
Oh, his own
called,
show?
Yeah, it's called I Hate Marler podcast. All he does is talk about your takes. No,
That's
he
cool.
does. Yeah, well, I'm not going to promote his shit unless he promotes ours. But yeah,
Well,
he does.
really nice, so
He does want.
say it.
No. He's a good dude. I'll look it up. But Big Ten podcast. So not a lot of our listeners will go listen to that one for sure.
So here's the thing: I was so wrong about that team. They're good, man. They're good. They're tough. Winning in that environment. Here's the thing about that game at Oregon. Oregon had beaten, I think they were like 7 or maybe even 8 or 10-1 or something like that against top 10 opponents. Or maybe it was 7-0. I don't know. It was some very impressive number against top 10 opponents in Alton Stadium, and they were winning those games by over 14 points a game. That game wasn't even as close as the score said, because they had that pick six or fumble or whatever it was for a touchdown to tie it up 20-20. Incredibly impressive. They're good in the trenches. They're good on defense. Like, they are built to win games. And I think last year, it was easy for me to look at this team and say, well, they're probably not very good because they haven't played anybody. And then when they do, they were obviously really bad. So I think I'm going to give myself a little bit of an out there, but they're really good this year, man. You could make the case that they could be number one. I don't know what their strength of schedule is compared to Ohio State, but Oregon got a massive benefit of the doubt because they beat a bad Penn State team on the road in double overtime. God, and all of a sudden, since we all thought Penn State's supposed to be great, it's like, well, Oregon clearly is the best team in America. And it's like, or as Dave Portnoy, who's becoming the worst, says, Oregon. Yeah, I thought it was incredibly impressive, man. I owe all those fans an apology.
To me, the biggest shocking, well, not shocking, but outside of Northwestern beating Penn State, which was hilarious. First off, got to shout out UCLA.
Yeah,
on the like right after beating Penn State, go on the road to Michigan State and win 38-13.
Yeah,
I mean, they were terrible before they fired their coach.
Horrible.
But I thought one of the most impressive performances, USC 31, Michigan 13. Like, I just didn't think USC would be able to hang with Michigan in the trenches.
Why?
Lincoln Riley.
Fair assumption.
But USC, man, like, their offense is just really good. But yeah,
and they were at home too, which I thought was great. Like, I that might be a team for me. I think it's like football's better when they're relevant.
Yeah, well, they got a big one this week, which we can talk about. Anything else from last week before we dive into this? We've got 30 minutes.
I don't know, Tyler. Pretty big game at noon that we had.
Nah, Missouri did.
Two top 15 teams.
I'm just kidding. That was good. That was a great win. Because I think Missouri's really good.
I do too. I think. I don't know if you've seen the replay of the last, like, the interception that won the game, but Bo Perbula's got a dude wide ass open in the flat, and he might walk in and score in that game. That game could have gone very differently. They were 1 of 10 on third down. I was surprised they never really tried to get Ahmad Hardy going. I think he had 11 carries going into the fourth. He ended up with 12. I know Bama held the ball for like 40 minutes, but here's what I'll say about Mizzou. For anybody that thinks that they're not for real. I know they've only played 6 games at home. I know they might lose this weekend because they're an underdog. But, like, if you're telling me the team that goes 1 of 10 on third down, loses the turnover battle, what was the other thing they did that was so bad? There was something else. There was like multiple missed opportunities, like with like guys open. Like, they only had the ball for like 21 minutes of the game. Yeah. If you tell me all those things and they lose by 3 and they're still in contention late, that's a good team. Now, I'll also say for Bama, Ty Simpson lost control of this game late in the second and early in the third, but he was fucking nails coming down the wire, especially on the fourth down That 4th and 8 pass was unbelievable.
And people are talking like, Heisman with him,
Theismann.
which is kind of crazy considering 1 month ago or thereabouts, people were like, "This guy's fucking awful.
He's terrible. He's why we lost to Florida State."
Yeah, crazy. College football is just insane. The ups and downs. I mean, Florida State is like literally on crack. It would appear. We went, Chris. If you think about my football life since we started this podcast,
it's not good.
From that year, the GOAT game, the GOAT opener, Francois tears his ACL. We go 7-6 from starting number 3 in the country. Jimbo leaves us at the altar, goes to Texas A&M. We bring in Taggart, fire him after a year and a half because it was so bad.
That was
bring in Norvell before he even can start. COVID happens, so can't get it off to a great start. 5 games in his first year, can't recruit. Turns out he just can't recruit even if COVID's not happening.
That's weird.
But we go all the way, make it undefeated season. Then our quarterback breaks his leg. Still, we rally, win the ACC championship without him, get snubbed from the playoff, go 2-10, beat Bama to start the year, and then lose 3 straight ACC games.
I want you to continue doing the show so much because it's so good. I feel like we're back and we're so excited and we don't have any like crazy life things happening for once in our fucking lives. And then of course,
just
Mike Norvell tries to fuck up everything. Yeah, I get it. Let's get to this weekend, man. It's a good slate.
It is a good slate. Starting Friday night even. I think Washington, Michigan's a good game for a Friday night.
Friday night?
Yeah, Friday night.
Fuck yes.
Nope, that's definitely not. It's 12 p.m. noon on Saturday.
Son of a bitch.
But I thought there was. Oh no, that's what it was. Friday at 7:00, Louisville, Miami. I think is a decent game.
Not a bad game.
Yeah. I think Miami's pretty good though. And you know what was crazy about Miami? They had a bye. They played Florida State, and then they had another bye.
That's ridiculous. It's also really bad scheduling.
I feel like I've never seen that before.
No.
Well, let's start as always in the SEC. There is a very good noon game right there on ABC. LSU, number 10 now, climbing their way back up, going into Nashville to play Vandy, who's number 17 at this point. This line opened at Vandy as a 1.5-point dog. Currently,
no, 1.5-point favorite.
Well, currently, did they open that way? I could have sworn that LSU opened as the favorite, and now Vanderbilt is a 2.5-point favorite.
No, they opened as the favorite, Tyler, and I know that because it is the first time since 1948 that they opened as the favorite, and it is the what is it? It's the first time since 1977 they were favored over a top 10 team.
Wow.
Yeah.
And money's come in on them.
Yeah. So here's what scares me about this game, because I'm going to ignore Vegas for a third straight weekend and lose my fucking ass doing it.
Right.
And also, I don't think I should share this, but I'm going to anyway. Like, I finally monetized Twitter.
Oh, really?
And they're like back paying me for everything since I signed up. So there's like a check coming tomorrow. It's like, Tyler, I'm telling you right now, 2022, Chris, this would have been life-changing money. And I mean life-changing money. Yeah, thank you. Wow. Thank you, Eddie, for that look you just gave me. So here's the thing. LSU, I might risk all the Twitter money on that game. I don't love the fact that Vegas is begging you to take Vandy. They are begging you to take Vandy. I hate that. But, yes, Mickey, but I just don't believe in Vandy. They're coming off a bye week. I know Diego Pavia is good, especially when they can control the ball, control the clock, not turn the football over, unlike they did against Bama. Very uncharacteristic of them under Clark Lee with Pavia. LSU's offense has its struggles, but here's what I keep going back to, man. We are starting to look at certain teams and tie their, like, how good they are. It's tethered to how well their quarterback's playing. Texas sucks because Arch isn't playing well, right? And so even I've been somewhat guilty of that. They suck because they're not playing well. Well, You see what they did to Napier this weekend? They win that game. South Carolina sucks because Lenore's isn't playing well. But no, South Carolina just kind of sucks. LSU's not any good because Nussmeier's not playing well. Well, Nussmeier's been hurt. They went out against South Carolina, which is a very good defense. They allowed 0 sacks. They were able to run the ball very effectively.
Real quick, is that injury the one that everyone thought was like season ending at the beginning of the season and preseason? Or is it a different injury? Remember what that day when like Twitter went crazy because everyone thought
that wasn't even real. He had an existing
but he got injured, right? It just wasn't as nearly as bad as everybody thought.
He has like patella tendonitis is what they said he had. So,
it's not the same thing that's affecting him now.
No, it's an ab strain now.
But
have
abs, that'd be great.
He is.
I could add ab to strain. That'd be unbelievable,
dude. I'm telling you, you got to get with me and go to the YMCA.
Yeah,
that's the new show.
All right, chat.
What betas?
Chat. When we roll around towards like conference championship week, I want you to get back in the chat and you remember to ask Chris how many times he's been to YMCA since this night.
What's the over under at? Set the over under.
I'm gonna give you 2 hard weeks where you go a lot.
Now, what you're doing, Tyler, is basing that off of a decade's worth of me doing that with everything in my life. So I appreciate and acknowledge where you're coming from. I think it's a good bet. Yeah.
I like to do research when I bet.
Yeah,
I don't
smart.
I don't like to go in blind.
Anyway,
yeah.
Here's what I know. They are like they had their highest output for total yards and passing yards against any Power 4 team this last weekend against South Carolina. They're going on the road, but like, are they really? Because it's Vanderbilt. You can talk about the offense all you want, but the defense is still a top 5 defense in America. And the idea that we are sitting here, and Vegas scares me, to be very clear. But the moment I saw Tom Fornelli's fat ass say some shit about, and that's coming from me, so I'm allowed to say it. We're allowed to say it. Listen.
You don't like Fornelli?
No, I fucking hate him. He's such a bitch when it comes to SEC stuff, dude. He's such a baby when it comes to SEC stuff. Shouldn't have called him a bitch. It's my bad, Tom. He's such a baby when it comes to SEC stuff. It's like he said something the other day about it. He's like, yeah, well, it's because the other 18 teams in the conference. It's like there's not 18 teams in this conference. Just like take a breath. That's coming from me. Like, don't overreact because it's weird that you're a Northwestern journalism grad and you're this fucking pent up about SEC fans. Not like
I think he's
coaches.
Illinois, but I get it.
What?
I think he went to Illinois, but I get it. I get what you're saying.
Either way, it's fucking weird how like he is. I think to his own assessment and what he would say in proclamation, he's a journalist, and it's so weird how bent out of shape he gets because we talk about all this SEC bias. It's very weird when there's like very clear anti-SEC stuff, and that whole fucking show is full of it. Tomorrow, I will bet you $20, Tyler, that on Friday night or Friday or Saturday morning, your boy Bud Elliott is going to post a reel, and it'll be posted to CBS Sports or Cover 3 Podcasts. That is something about Alabama not being able to keep up with Tennessee or something. It will be something Bama related, I will guarantee you.
You know, Bud Elliott went to Bama as well, right?
Did he really?
Yeah, he went to law school there. He's a friend of the show. He's been on the show. He's in our intro video. Come on.
Well, I mean, I like Bud, but that whole show is very anti-SEC.
But by the time this football season's over, we're gonna have a feud with that podcast because you hate Danny, you hate Tom, you hate Bud.
I just want them to talk about football in an objective way. Like I'm so that if I have to watch Danny Cannell do one more fucking TikTok about like I don't know which way am I going that way, and like it's like it is the cringiest shit, dude. Just objectively talk about it and don't be Feinbaum. Listen, Tyler. Here's the last thing I'm gonna say. This and we'll actually predict the games. Every day we have choices to make, and every day that guy has a great job with a national fucking audience and following, and does a really good job. And he's a great dude off camera and off Twitter. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I defended him for fucking ever. But like every day he wakes up, he could just deliver his objective thoughts. He could just break down the game better than almost anybody because he played in the NFL and played in college and all those things. And every day he chooses to be petty and throw out things that aren't accurate, factual, and wildly solely based in opinions. And I hate it.
Any pub is good pub.
It's fucking Anyway, cut that part out, Eddie.
Look, I guess you're right. They're neither one of us have ever tweeted anything to rile up fan bases.
I'm not saying, but we don't do it every day. Wake up, feet hit the ground. I don't do it every day. I'm just polarizing and adorable. Okay.
All right, so you think LSU's going to win that game then?
I do.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, LSU's defense is better than Bama's, and Vandy struggled against Bama's defense. Yeah. It is at home.
Okay.
I think it's going to be more LSU fans there. Probably. I don't know. What is the vibe at Vandy's games these days? Like, do they have, because of the Pavia thing and the success, like, is it legit there now, or is it still?
Clark Lee said he's interested to see what it looks like this weekend because there's been games at home in the past where it's looked like an away game. And I know, what's up, John Glasgow? Wait, is that the guy? That's the Indiana guy.
No. Well, I don't know. That's not the Indiana guy I'm talking about.
Okay. John Glasgow, show yourself. Who's your team? No, I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a good game.
The Penn State guy. Is he the Penn State guy?
I don't know. Show yourself, coward. I don't mean that, John. All right, let's get to the other games.
Let's see. Oklahoma, South Carolina. What do you think is going to happen there? Because that's a weird, tricky spot for Oklahoma. I feel like coming off the loss, they scored 6 points against Texas. Go in, sleepy noon game in Columbia against South Carolina. Nobody thinks South Carolina is any good. 5.5 point favorite on the road. Your favorite number?
I hate it.
You think South Carolina can salvage anything here, or what's the vibe there right now? Because South Carolina, everyone, yes, of course, they thought it was going to be a fantastic year. But at the same time, not a ton of historical success for South Carolina. So,
no.
How disappointed could you really be?
Oh, trust me, Tyler, they're very disappointed. 3-3 last year, ended up 9-3. 3-3 this year. I do think that they are going to be better prepared. Damn it, John Glasgow, I was way off.
Yeah, I thought Penn State. You thought Indiana. He's just a Bama fan.
Yeah, it's so good to have John Glasgow back here from overseas, watching us live from Turkey. This dude gets it.
You're from London, Birmingham.
We used to summon Birmingham. So South Carolina, I think, is going to come into this game much more motivated. I think that they fired their offensive line coach. That should hopefully be better. Sean Elliott, friend of the program, former coach of Georgia State. He's going to come in there. They are still very thin, and I think they're going to be down 3 starters, maybe 4, on the offensive line alone. And then, Tyler, dude, I made a joke during the LSU game. I was like, man, one more offensive lineman goes out, they're going to have to get Chloe Kitts from the women's basketball team to start. She tore her ACL. Yeah.
I was like, turns out she's starting at left tackle this week.
She tore her ACL too, and she's out for the season. So I think that I saw a stat before, and I think this Oklahoma front four is going to be very good at being able to get after Lenoris because of how bad the offensive line is and how good the front four is for Oklahoma. I get all that. John Napier is clearly not himself. I don't know how much healthier he could get after playing a full game against Texas. And they haven't played a true road game. They played a road game at the Link against Temple in front of 1,200 fans. And here's the other thing I just found out before he came on here from our good buddy Mike Bratton. Oklahoma has never scored more than 2 touchdowns offensively in any game against the SEC since they joined it. So get them out into the fucking muck and all that kind of stuff because South Carolina's offense is terrible too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a low scoring. I think the total is 43.5 on that.
Yeah.
Picked up a little bit from 42.5. That's going to be a low scoring game.
Yeah. I like South Carolina to cover the 5.5.
All right. 3:30 ABC game. Again, doesn't sound right saying ABC, but it is what it is. You got number 5, Ole Miss, going into Athens, Sanford Stadium, 3:30 on a Saturday afternoon. Perfect weather here in Georgia. If you don't live here, man, it feels good outside.
Does it? I got an extension until 8:45, so we're good. We don't have to rush.
All right, cool. Number 9, Georgia, at home. The line opened at 6.5, ticked up to 7 for Georgia.
I saw it at 7.5 yesterday.
Wow. Total 54.5. every bit of me wants to pick Ole Miss here because I just for two reasons. I've been impressed with Ole Miss. Obviously, last week they were looking ahead. That was a scare, though. Big time scare. If Kiffin, okay, so there's a couple things going on here. Is that, hey, we were looking ahead to Georgia, or is that, hey, I was interviewing with Florida?
It's looking ahead to Georgia.
But either way, you survived the scare. I'm not really put off by Ole Miss at this point because of that. And I just haven't been that impressed with Georgia, to be honest. What I'm used to of them, of course. Did you try to go off camera? Because I could still hear my. All right, cool.
I had to move my chair up. Keep sinking.
Had to.
Will be a problem after I start going to YMCA. So here's the thing I keep saying about Kiffin, dude.
Hold on, real quick though. So everything makes me want to pick Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like the classic letdown spot for Kiffin, where it's like had all the momentum going in, chance for a big win, and then
there's distractions.
There's distractions because again, people think you're going to go to Florida. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Georgia just because of that. Everything else, I mean, I like Ole Miss to cover. But then again, if this is the scenario that I think plays out, and this is the blow-up game for Lane, it's actually probably going to be worse than the 7, to be honest.
So
give me Georgia in the points. 7. Taking them.
I agree with you. Here's the thing too. Why did Kiffin choose this week when he's got to go to Athens as the week he was going to call Kirby fat?
That was so funny though.
It's very funny.
What pains me the most about Lane is that he's going to be Florida's coach, and he's going to be the new Spurrier for us. Like,
oh, that's not a bad point.
Awesome offense, smarmy in the media towards his rivals. I'm not going to love it, but he will be the Florida coach, and that is a big distraction. And this game is a problem for that timing.
Ole Miss is going to score first.
Yes.
I would expect them maybe even lead at the half. I think they're going to come out guns a-blazing. Here's the next iteration of Kiffin finally becoming the coach people want him to be, and especially in comparison coming into that Saban tree. How many times did you watch Saban or Kirby after a big win have their next game be this like very slow, lethargic, let down? I'll never forget when Saban was in there in 2008. Bama opens the season at 24 and Clemson's 9. They go to Atlanta and they play. They beat them 34-10. I was like, holy shit, Bama's unstoppable. They won the next game against Tulane 20-0. And it was like a 2 punt returns for a touchdown from Javier Arenas or something like that. That is what last week felt like. If you look at the box score, I didn't watch a second of the game. I mean, I watched a little bit, but like Kewan Lacey had 24 carries, like 124, 143 yards, something like that. Trinidad Chambliss, he had a fumble, but he was still like 207 yards of offense, 21-31 or something like that. Like they had statistically, they were fine. It just was a weird fucking sleepy ass game. This is going to be a big game. This is also the game. Remember a year ago, he said that's the one we had circled for a year. That's the one I had circled. Like we got our ass beat there in 2022 or 2023. I wanted to prove that we can go beat them. And here's the thing I'll go back to. I think Ole Miss is good. I think that like they haven't played a ton and they haven't really had to go away from home at all. Who have they played away from home? They played Kentucky at home. They played LSU at home. They played Arkansas at home.
Mm-hmm.
They're going into a place where these people's backs are against the wall and they're coming off already a bad performance and they've lost 2 games there in 8 years. Give me Georgia all fucking day.
Nope.
You know, it'd be a good value bet here, Tyler. Ole Miss lead at the half, Georgia to win the game.
Wonder what the odds are.
Plus 600 type thing.
Mississippi State is obviously going to lose to Florida because Napier's job is on the line. So Florida will rally. And no, but seriously, Florida was a 10.5 point favorite at the open of that game. Mississippi State's like not that bad. And
they're coming off a bye.
Florida's offense is not good. And I guess if you're to believe Matt Hayes, this is Napier's last game. So I don't know, maybe Florida rallies, but just an interesting little spot there. Obviously, the big game, two decently big games at night, but one bigger than the other. 7:30 ABC, number 11 Tennessee comes to town. Tuscaloosa. Number 6, Alabama. The line opened at 9.5 to start the week. It's crept down to 8.5.
8.
It's at 8 now. Total started at 52.5. Maybe that was an over the summer number, but it's all the way at 58.5. What's going to happen in this game?
I'll let you start.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Do I like the fact that Tennessee gave up all those points to Georgia at home? No, I do not. Because Georgia doesn't seem like they're doing that to everybody, does it?
No.
So I don't love that for Tennessee's defense. This is obviously a hostile situation. What happened the last time Tennessee was in Tuscaloosa?
They had a 20-7 lead at the half, and Bama won 34-20. Glad you asked.
Tough. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, this is a large number. This is larger than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why. Tennessee's looked good this year. Now, they had a close one against Arkansas last week. That was a barn burner. I cannot wait till Petrino's the full-time head coach at Arkansas. We just come back full circle.
Him and Mullen.
You know, I've been making fun of all these people on Twitter that are like on their hands and knees begging for Jimbo to come back to be our coach, just forgetting everything that happened with him towards the end. And I'm like, you really think that like the administration would circle back on a guy like that who like just burnt every bridge on his way out? And then I just think back to that picture of Bobby Petrino in the neck brace. And he went from that to he's about to be again the full-time head coach of Arkansas. And maybe
it is like the it's like when Andy had this whole story arc in The Office where he's like the worst, hate him, has to go to like anger management, all that kind of shit, and then all of a sudden he's back. Andy's back, and he's the manager. That's Bobby Petrino. Remember that episode when Andy's like, from MOP to MVP, and he's like, Andy, we're gonna have to do this tomorrow. We're not gonna name you the what do you call it today?
But at the end of the day, I think that Bama's probably a top 5 team. So I would expect a top 5 team to win this game. I think 8.5, 8 is a little much. You know, if it was under a touchdown, I'd take Bama all day. I'll take Tennessee with the points, but I'll take Bama to win. Give me 31-27.
Right around that 58.5, huh?
Right around it.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to mince any words with these people. I hate Tennessee. I hate their fans. I think they're awful people. And it's weird that and not all of them. There's some that are really great. There really are. There's like a handful that I truly, truly enjoy that I've made friendships with over time. There's a couple on Instagram, especially, and Facebook I still have great relationships with. We check in on each other. They're phenomenal. Genuinely good people and genuinely good friends in real life.
You've gone too far.
Here's the thing. I have zero respect for people that go out of their way to be a bad person. And a majority of Tennessee fans are me on Jason King's bachelor party 2013. Like,
oh yeah, that was
no,
tough.
I'm going to be too much. I'm going to be over the top, and I'm going to be miserable to be around just because I think it's funny. And you had a lot of laughs that weekend, though, so I will say
I did laugh a lot. It was kind of more out of I had that sinking feeling that everyone in the house was turning against you, and I felt like somebody's got to step up and lead this guy.
Thank God you did.
Continue to do it ever since.
Yeah, I appreciate you for that always. So here's the thing. I think that that whole idea where it's just like we are the worst versions of ourselves and the worst people of Vol Twitter. You don't want to get on Vol Twitter's bad side, or they'll go out here and find your pastor mother on Twitter in one of her 2 accounts and call her every name in the book. And it's like, you guys are terrible.
That's
and if
crap.
you remember this, and listen, I make no bones about this.
None, no bones.
The Georgia game in 2022, when I had all those predictions and I was spot on about everything I said, is where this whole back and forth started. Tyler, I had a Tennessee fan today in my mentions today on October 15th, 2025, making fun of me for the engagement that ended 4 years ago. And it's like, brother, we not only are you living in the past in the 98, like it feels like 98 thing, but you're doing this whole thing. So like,
yeah,
I have zero respect for that fan base. I do love Josh Heupel. I do love his style of offense. I think it's very difficult to prepare for. Here's what I know about Tennessee. They are going to get the ball first. They're going to be great on script because they are really good on script. They're going to score first. And I think they are going to have the ability to potentially get ahead early. Like if Bama gets into a game like it was in 2022 when they were down 28-10 and 21-0, I want to say at the start, or like the way it was against Georgia when it was like 21-7, I think, or 28-14 even. I don't know if this Bama team is built to come back from that because we saw that against Florida State and they weren't able to. There's been other teams that have scored first, Mizzou, Vanderbilt, and they've been fine. But that's not the same thing with Tennessee. Tennessee will find a way to run the football, and they will do so in between the tackles. They will spread you out, so it feels like you have 10 men on the field instead of 11, and they will have these receivers out basically standing on the sidelines, and they will figure out a way to try and gash you in the run game because as explosive as the offense is, let's make no mistake about it, it's predicated on the run. I think Tennessee is going to make this game miserable for Bama fans for the first at least 30 minutes. Here's the thing. I know my role at this point for Bama. I know my role at this point. I'm 2023 fan Chris. But I do have to get this part off my chest before I say what I think the score will be. These motherfuckers are coming into your house and they are trying to take away your chance at winning a national title and your chance at turning this whole fucking narrative back to where it belongs, which is you don't lose 3 out of 4 games at Tennessee. Peyton Manning is in that fucking building. None of the Clausen brothers are in that fucking building. That fat fuck Philip Fulmer isn't in that fucking building. Fuck Philip Fulmer, by the way. Fuck Philip Fulmer forever.
Wow. Can you say that 4 times fast?
Fuck Philip Fulmer forever. Fuck Philip Fulmer forever. Fuck Philip Fulmer forever. Fuck Philip Fulmer for fucking ever. Anyway,
no problems.
I hate that fat fucking rat. Here's the thing.
I'll be sure to tag this explicit.
If that guy's thumb still works, I know his ankles and feet don't anymore because of the diabetes. Make sure he fucking sees it on his fucking Twitter. Me and him are going to be at the YMCA in a step class on Monday, bright and early, baby. So here's the deal. Fuck Phil Fulmer, dude. Started to struggle on the third one. They want to come into this house and they want to take something that's yours. Okay? They want to take something that's yours. This is a really good Tennessee offense and a really good offensive team, and they're really, really good at like creating mismatches and all that kind of stuff. But Jalen Hyatt isn't fucking there. Hendon Hooker isn't fucking there. The running back from last year is gone. And I tell you, the biggest 2 missing pieces they're going to have again, Ricky Green III, phenomenal white trash name, and I'm pretty sure he's not white, but the defensive back that is out for this game, as well as Jermod McCoy, both starting cornerbacks still out. Where does this defense rank in terms of total defense in the SEC? I think it's 15th.
Dude, they're giving them 30 points a game.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It's 14th. They're giving up 393.8 yards per game. Yards per play. They are ranked 10th, giving up over 5 yards per play. Now, Bama's actually worse than that, so that's not good. Probably should have brought that part up. But here's the other part, too. The scoring defense is really bad. They're ranked 15th there, giving up nearly 30 points a game, like you said. But Alabama's going to be without Jay Miller. Ryan Williams had a left calf strain last week, so he's mainly a decoy for most of the game. They didn't really talk much about that. This defense, from a pass defense standpoint, is ranked dead last, giving up 258 yards per game and 7.2 yards per attempt, and opponents are completing 66.5% of their passes. Ty Simpson should carve these people up for 4 straight quarters. But here's the thing I'm mainly scared about too, Tyler. Last week, Bama beat Missouri, and then one of the reasons it was a big deal was it's the 5th time in SEC history, okay? 5th time in SEC history. So in a total of 92 years or 93 years, a team in the SEC has won 3 straight games against in 3 consecutive weeks against top 25 SEC opponents. And how does Bama get rewarded after beating 3 in a row? They get number 11 Tennessee at home. This is the one you got to win, man. This is the one you got to win because you can't go the rest of the way with your back against the wall with 2 losses with Oklahoma and LSU and Auburn still on the slate, and even South Carolina. You're at home. It's at night. Send these motherfuckers home early. Like run them out of the fucking building. And because I tell you one thing I do know about Tennessee and their fans, they will fucking roll over and die the moment things get difficult if they get down early. So you need to reverse everything that I have said about how Tennessee's going to get out to an early start, get an early pick, because this is not last year's team with Jalen Milroe. Put them away early. You put your foot on their fucking throat and you don't let up. Lock the fucking gates, dude. Lock the fucking gates. I can't wait. I hate Tennessee, dude.
That being said, you've got Tennessee winning the game?
Yeah, Tennessee wins, though, for sure. Tennessee wins, I'd say 34. Maybe how's Bama going to stop Joey Aguilar? 34-24, probably, I'd say, right around there, 58 points. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them.
All right, week 7, Tennessee, Arkansas gave up 31 points.
And the scary part, too, Tyler, is they only scored 34 and only scored 17 in the first half.
Week 5 against Mississippi State, they gave up 34 points against Mississippi State. Against UAB, got fucking Trent Dilfer out there taking pictures on the sidelines. Gave up 24 points to UAB. 24 points. Hell, ETSU scored 17. It's gonna have to turn into an offensive shootout if Tennessee wants to win this game.
I need it so bad, Tyler. I need it way more than any Georgia game ever. I need this one more than anything.
All right, biggest matchup of the weekend: Purdue Northwestern. Purdue.
Are they playing?
They are.
Loser leaves town. ECW. They ought to play this with a fucking a 2x4 and a table full of tacks turned upside down like a Tuesday night ECW battle. Awful.
USC Notre Dame. USC goes on the road. They're number 20, 7:30 night game on NBC against number 13 Notre Dame. Notre Dame, 9.5 point favorite.
So here's the thing, Tyler. I have admittedly blown my load on the Bama Tennessee game.
Yeah,
I have nothing left for this.
All right. Well,
USC I think wins outright
as a 9.5 point dog on the road. All right, USC wins. That's a great take. And of course, Chris, you know the slot receiver for USC. Just
Jeremiah Nelson.
Yeah, he's gonna go off in that game.
Yeah.
Just interesting. Notre Dame. I thought we were all down on Notre Dame. Seems like USC is pretty good. It's almost a 10-point favorite
because they're at home.
30. Let me go. Notre Dame 35. USC 30. Barn burner of a game, but USC covers.
Yeah, I like how our producer's saying 10 minutes less instead of 10 minutes left.
Yeah, he's like, I wish this would have been 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, no big matchups in the ACC because the worst.
No, we're done. We got to go.
Okay.
You got to call the hotline too.
Put the hotline number up there. This is what we do to Buzo. We're in the middle of trying to look at games and we're like, put the number up. Now. Booze boy.
Booze boy.
Best of luck to everybody this weekend in your games. We appreciate you tuning in. Chris has some other pods to deal with. One of these days, we will put the real graphic up with Ornery fans on there. But it is
again.
678. 962-7836. We had a handful of callers last week, but not enough for us to.
Yeah, call the fucking hotline.
Call the hotline 678-962-7836. We appreciate everybody tuning in. For Chris, I'm Tyler, and for producer Tuscabooza, we're out. Enjoy it, folks.